The relationship between the Black Lives Matter movement and Facebook. Victor Pickard states that since 1995, contemporary social movements have grown to have increasing dependency on using the internet as a strategic method of spreading awareness and participation. The Black Lives Matter movement began in 2013 following the death of Trayvon Martin when his killer's murder case was cleared. What made this case significant was that Trayvon had no armor or weapons on him and was just a black male young adult. The incident was brought to attention by Alicia Garza, an activist in California, that stated on a Facebook post, "Black people, I love you. I love us. Our lives matter." After this, the Black Lives Matter hashtag began and increasingly grew stronger over the years of similar incidents and equal rights protests. The movement describes itself today as a chapter-based national organization working for the validity of Black life. The first goal of the organization was to highlight the numerous incidents where a Black individual was murdered by a police officer unjustifiably. The movement became internationally recognized 1 year later following Michael Brown's death in Missouri. Rachel E. Mona, a sociology professor at Purdue University, states, "What makes social media and social movements so meaningful and interesting is the speed in which people are able to mobilize through social media." She then goes on to mention how, traditionally, people of color in our society have felt our political institutions do not represent them for obvious reasons. When we have social media, people have a voice, therefore highlighting the strengths the media has created within the first decade of the 21st century. Furthermore, the beneficial effects of social media on the Black Lives Matter movement can be examined further using a techno-optimistic approach. Kidden McIntosh, 2016, describes this analysis as the solution of social issues being in the power of social media. The proliferation of both software and hardware has paved the way for social media to arise, as well as stronger methods of the exchange of information and communication. Techno-optimism portrays itself as the method in favor of social media networking sites in order to help social movements. The categorization of Castell's networked social movements 2009 is where the advantages of this are initially explored, highlighting the benefits of social movements online, including factors such as the mobilization of resources, which aids the building of new networks and connections from leaders of the movement globally, as well as forming of supporting networks which can be used to share new information on the movement and provide direction for other leaders to reciprocate. Month 2018. Muntz goes on to explore the success of speakers and conferences due to the sharing on social media, which attracts others to mimic their actions, as well as provide a point of inspiration. These likes and shares can be depicted as a form of supportive resources on a smaller scale, and on a wider scale, Muntz states that the use of social media was fundamental in the organization of protests and the spread of awareness of the activist movements within Facebook groups. An example of this was displayed following the death of Alton Sterling and Philando, who were both shot by police officers, in which an outdoor march was structured and took advantage of social media platforms, which consequently created a turnout of approximately 1,500 people. However, in spite of the virality of the Black Lives Matter movement, including video footage and evidence of the prejudicial behavior of the police, social media networks, including Facebook, have fallen susceptible to a vast amount of verbal abuse and patterns of cyberbullying behavior, which is an underlying downfall of activism based online. From a techno-pessimistic approach, social media limits our ability to realize social change. Morozov writes, "The slacktivism is the idle type of activism for a lazy generation," 2009. For example, setting a nation/movement's flag as your display picture, or signing an online petition, or simply retweeting a hashtag. He argues that slacktivism is just a feel-good online activism and has no political or social impact. Those who participate just simply create an illusion for themselves having meaningful impact in the world without doing more than joining a Facebook group. Although 64% of Americans feel that social media provides a voice for the underrepresented groups of society, a larger amount of people believe that social media platforms such as Facebook only divert the attention of people away from the more significant issues, with 77% of people agreeing with this, as well as 71% believing that people are convinced by social networking sites that they have made a change in society, when the reality proves otherwise.